pleasure to meet both of you guys. How are you holding up? How's it going?
We're doing good. I mean, we're potting together, as you can tell, since we're sitting next to each other without a glass screen or anything. But we're really excited. I mean, we've been waiting to get this movie out since you wrote the first draft. It was about 8 years ago.
Wow.
And now we're looking at, when you start on an independent passion project, you never know if anyone's going to see it or like it. And now we're going to be in 200 theaters in a time when getting in theaters real victory. And millions of people will hopefully have access and watch the movie. We're really
Exactly. Yeah, well, I have to tell you, it's a wonderful film. And Jake, I want to start with you because you wrote the script, co-wrote it, but it's heartbreaking on so many levels, yet still inspiring and promotes hope, I think, after watching it.
I hope so.
What inspired you to write this script and then make your own character so tough on yourself?
I mean, the genesis of it all was, we're both from Texas. We grew up there, but our dad worked in Mexico. And so we traveled to Mexico all the time as kids. And, we didn't realize it at the time. That was just our childhood. That was our normal. But, in our teenage years, we kind of started to realize, oh, wow, we've seen a whole different Mexico than so many other people get to experience, and we love it. And so we were really looking for a story that could exemplify that. And we love travel movies and we love immigration movies, but we hadn't seen one going the opposite way. And I think American audiences often watch immigration stories and say, oh, that's really sad. I'm sorry for them. That's an atrocity over there, down there, whatever. And I just wondered if U.S. audiences, if the character that was traveling south looked like me, I wondered if American audiences would feel more empathy, and just see it differently.
Absolutely. And Connor, for you to take on this project, directing your brother, seeing what he has to go through in this film, come on, you have to feel
I was putting through half of it, I guess. We early on, we thought, if we're going to have this movie and we're going to tackle a really sensitive subject, an important subject, then you have to do it right. The bar is high, because failing is not an option, right? And so we thought to have this message of hope, where we allow this character to make such a tragic mistake at the beginning of the movie, and if we're going to let him be brought back, and if we're going to allow him redemption and not have it be schmaltzy at the end, he has to earn it. He has to earn every bit of it, so that when he walks in the church at the end, we feel a different way about him. Yeah. And so we need, we decided from the script and through the production, he's got to go through physical turmoil and psychological turmoil and emotional turmoil, so that we're willing to have that message of hope at the end, where we allow him to be redeemed.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Jake, I want to ask you, because one thing that really struck me about this movie watching it is when Jackson crosses the border and he hooks up with some of the people he meets in Mexico.
Yeah.
Open arms. They take him in, they don't ask a lot of questions, and he's treated like family immediately. Now let's talk about if the roles had been reversed.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
I don't know that it would have been the same.
I agree.
I think there are some amazing people in the U.S. that would do it. We found some people in no man's land that, albeit people cross their border every day, they still leave food and water out for immigrants crossing.
Yeah.
So while there are good people on both sides, I do agree with that. And again, it was something that we saw as children. Mexicans, they're just a beautiful people. That was what we found.
When we were prepping this movie and started to location scout, we shot this movie 100% in Mexico, no sets, none of that, and no studios, and we were in people's homes and stuff. And to a home, whenever we would go visit a home to tour it for shooting, we would always be brought out at a minimum, 10 waters or something. But usually the people at the home would bring us, lemonade and sliced fruit or whatever they had. And that's just not not normal. I've shot a bunch of movies in the States and done a lot of location scouting here, and that's just not. It's a difference of culture. It's a very generous culture.
Absolutely.
There. But we also didn't want everyone in Mexico to just come off glistening, because that's not
for sure.
either, you know. So we tried to. We have some people who
he does have to sleep in the barn.
Yeah, he sleeps in the barn, but you're invited to Sunday breakfast, you know.
Exactly.
But then some people call the police on you, and you know that's.
Yeah, no. You have to obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's
even you know, even with getting invited, the deal was, you know, he worked hard for that week, and they said, you know, Sunday breakfast, and you really showed yourself this week. Come join the table.
And you were in if that happened, we talked about this when we were shooting. Is in Mexican culture, like if the fact that you're a güero and you're an American, you might get invited. Whereas if they picked up a field hand off the street who was another Mexican, you probably wouldn't be invited to that family table, because that's the social class system that they have. Their culture, and you know, try to find that nuances.
Absolutely. Let's just talk about some of the stars you have in this movie. My goodness, like Andy McDowell, Frank Grillo, who I love, George Lopez. Come on, guys, really, like pitching yourselves.
We were so blessed.
Yeah. So and I don't know, I told George earlier, I was like, if you didn't say yes to this movie, if you didn't say yes to this character, there was no like cast list underneath you. Really, you know, I don't know who would have played the role or what we would have done. Maybe we would have had to rewrite it.
But I love that he's not funny in this movie. You know, what was he like offset?
he's more funny. But
he is, you know, again, he really cared about this subject matter. It's something that he's dealt with even in his comedy. Yeah. So I know, you know, he really cared about seeing the movie through beyond just kind of the acting side of it all. And Frank Grillo, I think, was the first of those three actors to come on board and take a chance on us.
Yeah, and he's a producer on the film as well, so he obviously was, felt passionate about it.
Everyone who came on board this movie, and this was really such a delight for us, that everyone cared about the movie. They cared about the script, they cared about the issue, they cared about the characters. Wasn't just a paycheck, and so they were, you know, giving themselves to the movie as actors, but they were also giving themselves to the movie as people, and you know, going above and beyond to support it.
Yeah, I love that the two of you, you know, from what I was reading about your lives, is that, you know, since you were young boys, you wanted to be filmmakers, you wanted to be in the movies, you know. It makes me think so much about my own brother, who, when he was a kid, would light firecrackers in his bedroom. We had the, you know.
It's really just how do you get dangerous stuff? What excuse you have?
How can I be an adult but like still blow stuff up? Yeah.
Strapping firecrackers to your body, like, what did your parents say? Come on.
They were terrified. And it's so funny thinking back on it, because I remember showing them movies and being so proud and just sitting there waiting for them to watch it and how much they're going to love it. And of course, my mom, you know, sees firecrackers exploding on our chests, and she's like, what the heck are you doing out there? You know, I remember you be so stupid.
You were like, don't worry, we taped newspaper.
Yeah,
it's cool.
Yeah, we figured it out. It's like, you mean newspaper, flammable paper? But you know, you just
gotta start somewhere.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's true. Lastly, I just want to ask you about the horseback riding, because were you proficient on that horse? Because my God, you did a great job.
I'd say proficient, you know, manageable was where I started, and I was really lucky. And Connor, you know, helped organize this. But I came to Mexico a few weeks before we started shooting the movie, and trained with a team of Mexican charros for a couple weeks. And I would just drive out to this little ranch every morning and, you know, just work the horses with them. And it was awesome, because I got better at horseback riding so that we could do all the stunts with me. It was kind of rehearsal time with me and the horse who played Sundance, Tapatio. Since we have a real relationship in the movie, I wanted to really know the horse. And then I'm just so proud that we ended up getting them in the movie. When I stay at the Mexican farm and train the wild horse and work with the team on the Mexican farm to saddle him and kind of break this horse, all those characters were the Mexican charros that handled all the animals throughout the movie. So that's like a cool nugget that I'm really proud of.
Amazing. Well, listen, you guys should be really proud of this movie. It's wonderful. It really, really is. And what a pleasure to talk to you today. Best of luck with everything and just keep safe and healthy. You know, what else can I say?
You too.
You too. Thank you.
All right. Thanks for your time. Take care.
Bye.
Bye, guys.